Okay, so now that the dough has been chilling in the fridge for an hour, we're going to want to take it out and put it onto a floured work surface.
Wait a second, this isn't right. Where's the rest of the footage? Like, where's the introduction? What do you mean? This is all the footage I was given.
You see, that's kind of funny. See, the thing what had happened was, the footage kind of got corrupted and I didn't know what to do. I'm really sorry. Please don't fire me.
Someone get this pane open before I fire you all.
Today we're going to be making cheez-its, but not just the regular puny tiny little square of cracker. We're going to be making sandwich-sized cheez-its. Now you may be wondering, why on earth would you need to be making a sandwich-sized cracker? So I'll tell you. Now I'm in marching band, and of course we have a director and assistant directors. Now one assistant director in particular is new to band this year, Corey. And for the sake of not getting a terrifying email in the middle of my biology lecture like the last time I made a video about any semblance of my school's band in it, I'll use this picture to represent him. Now Corey, like the sweet, sweet man he is, he's making a bit of small talk while we're warming up and rehearsing music. Now I don't remember the context of one of his comments, but it was the kind where when the person says it just so casually, and yet everyone within a 5-mile radius has this visceral reaction, so much so that they all immediately swivel around to the nearest person and lock eyes and have that shared look of, did I just hear what you just heard? And that comment was along the lines of, you know, when you have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and you put some cheez-its in there to give it a crunch. So here we are right now bringing this combo into fruition. So on to the actual recipe. Basically, my plan is to take a copycat recipe for cheez-its and just make it into a big one. And because I like making things difficult for myself, first grate 8 ounces of cheddar cheese or any other cheese you want to flavor your cracker with. Once you've successfully completed a vigorous arm workout, you'll end up with some finely grated cheese. Now chuck that into a big mixing bowl and add your teaspoon of salt and 1/4 cup of butter. And mix either by hand or in a stand mixer if you're real fancy. Then add your cup of flour and slowly add 2 tablespoons of ice cold water. You might need more, it depends on the humidity of your area, your altitude, the hydration of your flour, and you know, the alignment of the stars and the sun at night. Anyways, combine that until pebbly and has the texture of wet sand. If you're doing it by hand, you might want to get your hands in there and rub the butter between your fingers to get a good mix. This process is very similar to making a pie crust or a shortbread. So then, once it's combined, form the dough into a ball and wrap it in plastic wrap and let it chill in the fridge for an hour. Okay, so now that the dough has been chilling in the fridge for like an hour, we're going to want to take it out and put it onto a floured work surface. Then split the dough up with a bench scraper or a sharp knife. From there, you're going to want to roll it out until it's about 1/8 of an inch thick. If you care to notice, my rolling pin is actually a tumbler from my school's dining hall that I never actually went to because I could not justify paying absurdly high prices for less than mediocre food on a dining account I was forced to have because I live in the dorms. I'm not bitter. So if you're like me and don't have an actual rolling pin, get creative. Maybe use an empty wine bottle, a hydro flask, or even a baseball bat. The only limit is your creativity and desire to make things work. Once the dough is rolled out into an adequate thickness, cut out your cheez-its. Make sure to measure the dimensions of your sandwich bread so the cheez-it is the actual size. And then with some chopsticks, poke some dimples in the cheez-it so they won't puff up like a biscuit, and make some lines on the edges to get that quintessential cheez-it look. Then put the crackers on a parchment-lined baking sheet, sprinkle some salt on top, and place it in the oven at 375 degrees for 15 to 25 minutes. Or significantly longer if you're making a giant cheez-it. Now, I don't think I have to instruct you on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, but just in case, I'll show you how to level up a basic sandwich. First off, toast the bread. Not only will it warm up the peanut butter and jelly for better spreading, but the toasted bread will also add a crispy texture. Also, Corey wasn't specific on the flavor of the jelly, so I just went with the classic grape flavor. So once the bread has gotten a golden crust, spread the accoutrement onto the bread. Then assemble the pb&j and cheese, like so. And voila! You have a sandwich fit for a director. All that's left is to gather up the courage to overcome your inherent introvertedness and social anxiety to present him with this culinary feature straight out of the mind of a latchkey elementary school kid. So, I heard that you like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And I'm pretty good at cooking. So, I made you a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a cheez-it the size of a sandwich. Here you go. Yeah.
That big.
I made them.
You made it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I will try this afterwards.
Yeah, I know.
But that's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.